Well, welcome back to the kitchen. I heard something the other day. I was absolutely bloody astonished. A Polichicken actually saying that we need to get away from this ridiculous culture of throwing everything away and just buying a new crappy thing made in China, in effect. I thought, hang on a minute. Do I need to listen to the news again in an hour's time? I've never heard anybody say that before. Over here in England, they do harp on about reduce, reuse, recycle. Well, the thing is, how are you meant to reuse these things when the people from the dump won't let you take anything away from there? Oh, no, you can't have that, it might be electric. All they need is a sign at the dump that says items removed from these premises are at the remover's own risk, so to speak. And then they would be legally covered, wouldn't they? But of course, now, that's far too simple and sensible. Even the people at the dump say it's a crying shame, the stuff that they just have to throw in a skip, because not all of it is defective and duff. Some of it is in working order, or could be made to work again very easily. And you do wonder, don't you? Oh dear. But it is nice to hear Polichicken at last speaking some sense about this sort of thing. There's another Polichicken who's in a bit of hot water over here in the UK Independence Party, because he's saying that we shouldn't be sending all this money to Bongo land. Well, maybe his choice of language wasn't quite right, according to those who wish to be offended, the likes of the BBC and the Guardian and so on and so forth. But I can't help feeling he's only saying what the rest of us somehow think. Many of us do. And in fact, even the BBC couldn't edit out everybody, as they usually will, won't they? If it's not what they want to hear, they'll not broadcast it. But they had an Asian chap of Asian descent, and he was saying that, no, quite right, sick to death of it all. And there were quite a few others saying the same sort of thing, so yes, yes, keep on going, Mr. Bloom, won't you, keep being a thorn in their side, and one day they might see sense and stop sending all this money to Bongo Lab. Well, look at this lot in Rhodesia as was. That bloody geriatric gorilla's got back into power yet again, hasn't he? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yes, democracy, my arse. Anyway, on to nicer things. Found this little item today. A realistic stereo cassette recorder, and fully portable. It's only stereo if you play it through the headphones, but it's got external mics, left and right, and built-in mics, and unusually for something the size of a Walkman, it does record. There's only one speaker on the back, just a little monitor speaker, but yeah, not bad at all. It says on here SCP-29, 3 volts DC, manufactured in Singapore. But as with a lot of the realistic stuff, when you open it up, you can see that the mechanics are a little bit more solid looking than you get nowadays. And I'm not quite sure when this was made. Late 80s, early 90s maybe, could be older than that. But yeah, nice little thing to have, complete with a tiny little tape counter. I definitely need my glasses for that one. Anyway, if you've been trying to get hold of me at all on the interweb, and I haven't seemed to be out there, been having trouble with the interweb, the guttering has sprung a leak and has cascaded water whenever it rains all over the junction boxes, and it's not doing them any good. I can see what the matter is with the guttering. The pipe has simply dropped away from the gutter. And it looks as if, well, you could just do it in a few seconds, if you could get at it. But the thing is, it's 70 feet up in the air. Landlord's hopping mad because, of course, he thought all that had been fixed by the Shirk brothers. If you've seen the film The Money Pit with Tom Hanks, you'll know about the Shirk brothers. The builders they had to do up their clapped-out mansion. And whenever they were asked a question, the answer was always, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Anyway, so that's why I'm a bit erratic at the moment, shall I say. It all depends on the weather. Well, there you are. For years and years on the railway, people used to complain at me about the wrong kind of leaves and the wrong kind of snow. So now we got the wrong kind of rain buggering up the wiring. Yeah, the leaves thing was actually partially true, because with this modern disc brake stock, it was a pain. It used to go to a gungy, slimy goo, and it was very, very difficult indeed to stop without the aid of sand. And, of course, you weren't allowed any sand. Oh, no, that might upset the signals. Well, it didn't used to in the old days and when they had steam, did it? So they're doing something wrong. And as for the wrong kind of snow, dry powdery snow being sucked into brush motors, that was. Back in 87, the traction motors were all brush motors. And of course, it got sucked in, the motor was warm within, and pop and cork and mit Spitzensprung. Yes, if only they'd let us put back the baffles that were supposed to be installed in the winter, we'd have been all right. But, oh dear, no. Yeah, brains were dynamite. They wouldn't have enough to blow their noses, some of those managers. See you soon.